In today's video, I wanted to walk you through my basic sourdough recipe. I use this recipe all the time. It's my favorite. It's so forgivable and it's perfect for beginners. I'm also going to be including timestamps so you can see exactly what I'm doing when I am doing it. And so just as a reminder, everything that I use in my video will be linked in the description below, but I want to go ahead and get started. It is 9:20 p.m. and the very first thing we need to do to start our recipe is feed our starter. In order to feed my starter, I have a few items. I have a scale that can measure in grams, a wide mouth jar. I do have a jar cover, and I have a rubber band so I can track its progress, a skinny spatula, and then I do have the ingredients, which are my starter, some filtered water, and I'm using bread flour today. You can use all-purpose flour, and that is something that I tend to use most of the time. I was able to snag some bread flour on sale, and so I am going to be using that in my recipe today. First things first, let's get our jar on the scale. Make sure to tare it so it's at 0. And we are going to be doing a 1:5:5 ratio. Doing a higher ratio gives your starter lots of time to grow and to get to peak. So this ratio tends to get me about 12 hours of wiggle room. And it is so nice because my mornings can be super busy with my kids, and with school coming up, it can just feel impossible. So if I can feed my starter tonight, it will take all night to grow, and then by about 9 a.m. tomorrow, I should be able to use it just fine in my recipe. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to be doing 10 grams of starter. Perfect. Now I'm going to be adding 50 grams of room temperature filtered water. So I've tared my scale back to 0. Let's give this a little mix. Tare our scale back to 0. And now we're going to be adding in 50 grams of flour. Now that we've added all our ingredients, all we have to do is mix it. Try to mix it pretty well so that there's no dry pockets of flour. And now scrape down the sides as best you can. We just finished feeding our starter. It is now 9:30 p.m. So what we're going to do is cover our jar with our jar cover. And then we're going to be putting a rubber band. This is just so that we can see the level that it's at now, and we can see how much it's grown when it's morning. This is going to be just enough for one recipe of sourdough. So I'll see you then. It is 9:20 in the morning and I am ready to do my recipe. So I just wanted to show you this starter. It has doubled in size and it has stayed at peak for a while. I did check this around 7:40 in the morning and it was still just as puffed up as it is. It's maybe gone down a little bit and it's just about to finish peak and fall, and that's great. I'm going to use it in my recipe. So let's go ahead and start. In order to make this recipe, you are going to need a few things. I have a mixing bowl, a scale, I have a long skinny spatula, dough whisk, bench scraper, and I have a bowl cover. Ingredient-wise, you need your starter, you need water, flour. I am using bread flour today. You can use all-purpose flour. Just know that bread flour does have a higher protein count and it does absorb water quicker, so you tend to need more water when you use bread flour compared to all-purpose flour. And then you need some sea salt. Now that I've added all my ingredients, I don't need my scale anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and set it to the side. And now we just need to mix our dough, making sure that there's no dry pockets until it's nice and shaggy, just meaning that the dough can break off really easily as you're mixing it. Let's go. Now to just get as much dough off of my dough whisk as I can. And now to use my bench scraper just to scrape down the sides. Our first initial mix is done, so let's just cover up this dough and we're going to wait an hour before we do our first set of stretch and folds. It is 10:35, so it's time for our first set of stretch and folds. And that is it. I will use my bench scraper just to help scrape down the sides. We'll cover this and wait half an hour. It's been half an hour. It's currently 11:05, so we're going to go ahead and do our second set of stretch and folds. That is it. Wait another half an hour. It's 11:40 and time for our third set of stretch and folds. All right, let it rest for half an hour, and we have one last set. It's 12:10, so that means it's time for our last set of stretch and folds. Now I'm going to just do a quick little pre-shaping in this bowl. So I'm going to lift the whole thing up and tuck it under, kind of like a coil fold, so it will be rising in the correct shape. We're going to go ahead and cover our dough. My kitchen is at about 72 degrees, so I'm going to wait about 4.5 hours before I check it to see how it's doing and then gauge how much time I need from there. Most likely it will be about 5 to 7 hours for my bulk fermentation to be done. But I want to check it at about 4.5, just depending if my kitchen gets warmer, since it's just starting into the afternoon. I will see you in around 4.5 hours. It is now 5:30 p.m., so it's been about 5 hours and 15 minutes since I've let this sit and bulk ferment. So I'm just going to check it real quick and see if it is ready to be shaped or if I need to give it some more time. My kitchen is closer to 73, 74 degrees right now, so I might still need to give it a little bit more time. Come look at it with me real quick. First, the jiggle test. And it is jiggly, but I think it could be a little jigglier. There are definitely bubbles all along the top, which is a good sign. Poking it, it's really not too sticky. It's a little sticky, but there are parts that aren't quite as sticky. It is rising up pretty well, so I think I could also give it a little bit more time. It is pillowy and light, so I will give this a tiny bit more time. We'll see you soon. It is now 6 o'clock p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and start shaping this dough. It's nice and jiggly. It is slowly rising up. It's still nice and domed. It's nice and pillowy. It's actually not even that sticky. And these are all great signs, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna shape this dough. Today I'm going to be shaping my loaf into a round loaf, and so I'm going to be putting it in this lined banneton. It is a round banneton. I put a little bit of rice flour in it and just kind of wiped it around the edges of this liner just to make sure that the dough does not stick to my banneton. So let's go ahead and tip this out and we can shape it and get it in the fridge so we can bake it tomorrow. I am going to use my bench scraper just to help scrape the sides down and help my dough release from the bowl a little bit quicker. Beautiful. Oh, it has such good structure. You can just tell how it pulled out. Let's go ahead and shape this. You can use your bench scraper a little bit to help it from sticking to the counter. I'm just going to pull it up, go into thirds, pull this end up, fold it like a blanket, and then roll it up. Make sure to pull back and create that tension as you're rolling it forward. Pinch those ends as best you can. Oh, it's so fluffy. Now we're just going to use our hands to manipulate the dough as we scrape it across the top of our counter, just to help it form that round shape and to get nice and smooth on top to help build that tension. So pushing and pulling and turning it. And that is ready. I'm going to use my bench scraper to flip it upside down. I will wait just a few minutes before I stitch the dough, and then we can get this in the fridge to cold proof until we bake tomorrow morning. This has been sitting for about 5 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch it. I just do one big stitch, pinch it right in the middle. Take one side, fold it up, pinch it in. Same with the other side. We're just creating more surface tension to help it rise when it's in the oven tomorrow. And that is it. We'll cover it up, put it in the fridge, and I'll see you in the morning when we bake it. As usual, life happens, and I was not able to bake my loaf yesterday like I was hoping to. My AC went out, it was extremely hot, and I could not justify baking and turning on the oven yesterday. So we are baking this the next day. It is 10:30 in the morning, and that is just fine. Your sourdough can proof in the fridge from anywhere between 6 to 72 hours, so we're just in the sweet spot, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and score this loaf and get it in the oven. My Dutch oven is preheated to 500 right now, and once I stick it in, I will lower the oven back down to 450. Let's do it. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, it is so pretty. It smells so good. It's worth heating up your house for a little bit. We're gonna let this sit for 1 to 2 hours before we cut into it. It's just about 1:15 and I cannot wait any longer. So let's go ahead and cut into our bread. I've already cut and sliced my bread. There are some large holes in there, but that is okay. It is so soft. It is so light. I think this is a beautiful loaf, and I'm gonna love this, and my family is going to love it. Is it the most perfect compared to others that you may see? Probably not, but it's such a great loaf, and I'm so happy it turned out this way. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking here, and see a few of my other videos if you click over here.